All right, so here's homework number 3. And so I'm going to lecture 2, I guess, part 2. All right, so we're talking about adding and subtracting in other bases. So did that make some sense last time? Let's do an example. I could do those particular problems. So let me just go 4, 3, and 2, 5, base 6. Let's begin by adding in base 6. See what you remember? It's what you were thinking about all weekend long, right? My class is the most important thing in your life, right? That's what I tell myself. All right, so if we want to add in base 6, we start on the right side over there. Okay, and 5 plus 3 is 8, but we can't write 8 because we're in the base 6 system. So we're going to have to carry. So what does that mean? What do I do exactly? I'm going to carry, so we know that means put a 1 in the next column, but what does that 1 in the next column in base 6 really mean? 6. Yeah, that's the deal, right? When you teach kids base 10, carrying and borrowing, whenever you move a 1 over, carry, or bring a 1 to the right side, we'll do it in a minute with subtraction, called borrowing, right? That 1 really means 10, doesn't it? And that'll be confusing to kids, like it might seem weird to you here. So, no, so why is that 1 10? It's just 1. Why are you telling me it's 10, teacher? Well, because it's a base 10 system. And in the same way, I'm trying to tell you that 1 is not really 1, it's really 6, because we're in the base 6 system. So that's really it. But if I could just say that's everything we're going to do today, right? Anytime you carry or borrow, the 1 represents the base amount. That's what it is. That represents 6. Why? Because 1-0 in the base 6 system, remember the place values? This is the 1's place, this is the 6's place. So when you carry 1 to the next column, it means 6, doesn't it? It's 1 in the 6's place. With me on that? Okay. So I've probably beat that drum enough. Let's just crank this out. So 5 and 3 is 8. How do we do 8? Well, that carries away 1, which is really 6, leaving 2. See where I got the 2? Because that's 8. 8, we know 5 and 3 is 8, but how do you write 8? Carry 6, bring down 2. 6 and 2, remember that 1 is 6. 6 and 2, that was my 8. Right? That's how we do the 8. We carry away 6, bring down 2. And now, add this column, 4, 2, 7, but we can't write 6 or more in the base 6 system. So what do? We carry away 6 to the next column, leaving 1 left over from the 7. And then the next column is just the 1. 1, 1, 2, base 6. We just added in the base 6 system. Remember that? That seeming comfortable? All right, why don't we try one, and then we're going to go quickly to subtraction. So, here, let me give you one to do. I'm just making them up here. So, let's see. How about we do... let's do a base... How about we do a base 12? 9t... I'll give you a big one. 9t8-735. This is base 12. Everything there is in base 12. So go ahead and add in the base 12 system. Remember, we use T for 10, E for 11, huh? Give you a second there, see what you can do. Okay, let me jump in there with you. So 8 and 5 is 13, but I'm not going to write 13. We're in the base 12 system, so I'm going to carry, but when I carry, remember that means 12, doesn't it? So that leaves 1 left over from the 13. Good so far? So I carried, so 85 is 13. Carry away 12, bring the 1 left over down. So of that 13, I took 12 to the next column when I carried. Left 1 more. Okay, now add in the middle. What's that? This is 10. 10 and 1, 11, 14. But, can't do that. Carry away 12, again, leaves 2. From the 14, right? So from the 14, I carried away 12, left 2. All right, next column, 9, 10, 17. Can't do that. So I'm going to carry away 12, leave 5, bring down the 1. 1521, base 12. How many got that? Just want to know if I should speed up or slow down. All right, you guys are like, Mr. Heron, we've got it. Move along. So here we go. This will be a subtraction. So these are not exactly, these are the same as the homework though. I'm just not doing the exact homework, same kind of thing. So let's go to base, I don't know, how about 4, 2, and 1, 3, base 5. All right, so let's subtract in the base 5 system. So now we're subtracting. So that's going to involve borrowing, right? So you always start on the right side, don't you? You start over here on the right side. I can't take 3 from 2. So what am I going to do? I'm going to borrow, right? You know all about the borrowing, right? So how are we going to do the borrow thing? We're going to cross out that 4, right? And what's going to happen? Make it 3. We're borrowing 1 from it. And I'm going to bring over, now when I bring over a 1, I'm going to erase that. I mean, it's true, but I think that could be confusing. It's not a 12 like you're used to thinking about a 12. It's not like a real 12, because we're in the base 5 system. So you know what would be easier, I think, for you? So I just borrowed 1 from this column, and I'm bringing 1 over, but it's not 1. What is it I'm bringing over from the next column? 5, right? Getting the hang of it? So I'm bringing 5 that I'm adding to the 2. So it's really 7 there now. Did you follow that maneuver? When I brought 1, when I borrowed 1 from the other column, that 1 was really 5, wasn't it? Maybe it'd help. Let me do the base blocks real quick. Maybe that would help. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's 42, and I'm subtracting 13. Right, so there's my note. There's 42 subtract 13. You can't take 3 from 2. So what did we actually just do? We just grabbed this, borrowed 1, right? Brought it over here. But when you bring it over here and then you break it up into individuals, it's 5. So there's 7 now, huh? See what just happened? When you borrow 1 from the column to the left, that 1 is actually 5. It's a rod with 5 individual units, isn't it? So now I have 7 here minus 3 is 4, and 3 minus 1 is 2, right? 7 minus 3 is 4, and 3 minus 1 is 2. There's my answer, 2, 4, base 5. So whenever you borrow or carry, you're dealing with 5 when you're in the base 5 system. Does that make sense? You see that? Kind of weird, huh? That's exactly how kids will feel. They'll think, why did you just bring 1 and somehow you're telling me it's 10? Well, because that's the place value. That's our system. The values have places. A 1's not just a 1. It depends where it's sitting, doesn't it? How are we doing? You guys are an awfully quiet group. Feel free to speak up one way or the other. Anything I can say to help? Is that making sense? You want to try another one? All right. So whenever we borrow or carry, it's the base amount. Let's try another one. How about, I'll give you one to try. Let's do base 4. How about 31 minus 12, base 4. All right, subtract in base 4. So start on the right side. Can't take 2 from 1. So what am I going to do? I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to borrow from the 3, make that 2, and then when I bring it over, how much is coming over? 4, because we're in the base 4 system. Everything in that next place value, right, is the 1's place, the 4's place, is actually worth 4. So when I take 1 from there, I'm bringing over 4. 4 added to the 1 makes this 5. doesn't it? So now at 5 minus 2, it's 3, and 2 minus 1 is 1, and we're done. How are we doing? How many got that? How was that? Okay, it's pretty good for most. Questions I can answer. Getting about 2/3 of you so far. Do a couple more. Is that questions I can answer on that? So, I don't know, would me writing something help? So when you carry or borrow in a foreign base, you carry or borrow one which is not one, but is actually the base amount. So that's the key to what we're talking about. When you carry or borrow one, it's not really one. Just like you'll tell kids that one's not one, it's 10. It's 10 when you carry or borrow, because 10 is the base system we use. So when you're doing it in another base, it's the same deal. The carry or borrow is the base amount. It's actually the base amount. Can you read that writing? A little scribbly. So one day, I just wanted to remind you how kids will write. So I wrote real crazy like that. I had reviews. One time, teacher reviews, one student wrote, they said nice things, but then they also wrote, but he writes like a third grader, which is true. It's completely true. I'm okay with that. Anyway, is it good? Question? Let me know if you can't read something. I'm glad to clarify. I didn't pay enough attention in my elementary school teacher had writing lessons, I think. All right, if you can read it. So there's the actual number 9. Let's give that a try. It's one of the hardest ones. Adding in base 5. Yeah, third column will have a new thing. So add straight up and down. So let me jump in there with you. So 4 and 2 and 6 is 6 and 3 is 9. So we got 9 there, but we can't write 9. So we're going to carry. I was going to say borrow, carry. We're back to adding in. We're going to carry away 1, but that 1 is actually 5. And if you want to just write 5, you can do that. I don't care what you write, as long as your answer's right in the end. Doesn't bother me. Whatever's easiest for you. If you want to just make it 5, because that's what you're really carrying, is really... Wait a minute, that wasn't good. Don't write 5. I mean, it is 5, but that'd be confusing because it's, just write a 1. But it represents 5, right? It represents 5. I think it'll be confusing if you actually wrote 5 there. So, so I bring the 1, but that took 5 from the 9, right? When you push to the next column, 1, it's really 5, so this leaves 4. So I took 5 from him. Good so far? Now we add this column up. What's that? 7. Same deal. Carry 5 away. Leaves 2. Now here's the part I wanted to make sure the third column that you're good on. When you add up that third column, you get 10. 10. Now what does that mean about carrying 5s? How many can we carry? 2. This time we carried 2 5s. Did you pick that up okay? It's 2 we carry, and that leaves nothing. Right? Because we carried away 2 5s. Everything's 5 in the base 5 system. So when I added up to 10, which is 2 5s, I carried 2. First time we've done that. 2 to the next column. Easy enough. And then here is, 6, 7, 10 again. 6, 7, 10. Yeah. 10, so same deal. Carry away 2 to the next column, leave none. Bring down the 2. 20024, base 5. How are we doing? This getting easy? Because I want to go to multiplying and dividing. Maybe not dividing today, but multiplying. That's next. We're going to do all the operations in foreign bases. All right, I'm going to move on. Questions? We good on that? Why? Why are we suddenly doing this weird time problem? Subtracting time. Yeah, time. time is a base 60 system. You ever thought about that? Time is base 60. And this clock is a base 12. What do I mean? What's 12 o'clock plus 1 hour later? 13 o'clock? I guess that's how the military says it. But we say it goes back to 1, doesn't it? Or if we say 10, think about what we do on that clock. Think about just the normal, let me go over here, just the normal face of a clock. If I say, all right, we got the 12 here, the 6 here, etc., 3 here, 9 here, normal clock. Let's say it's 10 o'clock. Oops, kind of scribbly. Say it's 10 o'clock, and then I say 4 hours later. So I'm going to go 10. What if you're going to teach kids? What if you take 10 and you add 4? Is it 14 o'clock? Well, that's how the military says it, but what do we say? We're not in the military. Yeah, 4 and 14 if you want, but really what that means is it rolls over 12 and back to 2. Now, we don't show the carry, and it's slightly different. But basically, what's happening is you carried away 12. You don't show the carry, but you carried away 12. That's what you did. It's a base 12 system. And now, with hours, minutes, seconds like this, it's a base 60 system, right? 60 seconds in a minute. I'm going to carry to the next column when I have 60, right? Like, in other words, if I was going to add 30 minutes, or let's go seconds, 30 seconds and 40 seconds, I wouldn't say 70 seconds. I mean, it is 70. But I would go, carry away into the minutes column 1 minute, which carried away 60, didn't it? Leaving 10, bring down the 1. 1 minute, 10 seconds, Base 60 system. See that? So there's things we do in real life that are different bases. So anyway, so I just wanted to give you the hardest one right away because I think you're ready. Let's just subtract. Subtracting is always a little bit harder than adding. So I want to subtract. Where do we always start? On the right. So I want to subtract. Take 58 from 38. Can't do that. What do I need to do? I need to borrow. So how am I going to borrow? Well, I'll take one of these minutes, making it 35 minutes. Right? I'm borrowing from it. Is that good? And I'm going to bring it to the next column. So how many minutes are coming on over? 60. I mean, how many minutes? Sorry, I'm not speaking. How many seconds? Yeah, 60 seconds. 1 minute, 60 seconds, Everybody with me on that? I'm borrowing from the 36 minutes, one of his minutes, which we all know is 60 seconds. It's base 60 math, basically. So add 60 to that, right? That 1 minute, as you know, is 60 seconds. So that's what? 98 minus 58. That leaves 40. Doesn't it? And now in the middle, let's do the middle. I'm supposed to subtract 56. I can't subtract 56 minutes from 35 minutes. So I'm going to borrow again. So I go to the hours. Borrow one of his hours. 4 hours. So left. So one of the hours comes over to minutes. That 1 hour, as you know, is 60 minutes. Add 60 there. So what is that? 95 minus 56. Is that 39? I think. Did I do that right? 95 minus 56. So there it is. Everybody see what I did there? These two make 95, don't they? And then 4 minus 3 is 1 hour. There it is. 1 hour, 39 minutes, 40 seconds. Base 60 mathematics. Good? Just a real-life application of other base systems. So it's I haven't taught this class for like more than a decade, so I forget exactly what's hard and what's easy. Normally I just totally know, but let me know. All right, so I'm trying to subtract here. Gallons, quarts, cups, all that kind of thing. Do you know, what is it? Honestly, I don't remember off the top of my head. 1 gallon, is it 4? Is it 4 quarts? Is that what it is? 4 quarts in a gallon. And 1 quart is, I don't know, what is it? How many cups in a quart? Anybody know? Is it 4? Are you sure? You guys don't sound so sure. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to Google it to tell you the truth. So I would give you this on the exam. I mean, I would tell you the conversion. I don't think it's valuable that you know those conversions off the top of your head. So is that right? Does anybody got Google? Let us know. Is it right? Yeah, is it right? It is right? Okay, great. So with that in mind, so I guess it's a base 4 problem. So let me rewrite the problem now. So we got that straight. So let's do it. So we're taking 1 gallon, 3 quarts, 1 cup, and we're subtracting 4 quarts, 2 cups. All right. I want to subtract. All right, can you do that one? Go ahead and subtract and have to borrow. All right, how are we doing? We doing good? So I can't take 2 from what's started on the right side. Can't take 2 from 1, so I'm going to go to the middle. I'm going to borrow one of those. Comes down to 2. So how many, when I take one of those quarts, what goes on over to the cups column? 4. This is a base 4 problem, basically, right? Because 1 quart is 4 cups, isn't it? So I add 4. That makes that 5 minus 2, 3. And I go to the middle. Can't take 4 from 2 here in the middle. Can't take 4 from 2. So I'm going to borrow. So I come over here. And I leave none. And then that 1 gallon comes over as 4 quarts. So I add 4 to the quarts column. 4 and 2 is 6 minus 4, 2 quarts. Sure enough, that's the answer. 2 quarts, 3 cups. Good? Feel like you could do that on an exam? Questions on that? All right, down below, feet, yard, inches. I just want to leave these for you, so when you do that problem, it'll be on YouTube, and you can write it down in your notes. You could crank it. So that one's going to be like a mix of things, depending on what we're bringing, huh? Right? They're like not all 4. You know what I mean? Like the last one, everything was 4. And the one before that, everything was 60 in the time, minutes and seconds. This one's going to vary. Right? So you know what I mean? Or maybe I'm talking about it so much I might as well do it, huh? 2 feet, 3 inches. I'm going to subtract 3 yards, 4 feet, 10 inches. Okay. Go ahead. Give it a try. Okay, we can't take 10 from 3. We borrow, make that 1. Now, how many are we bringing over? Yeah, because the 1 foot is 12 inches, so I'm going to add 12 there. Right? That 1 foot brings over 12 inches. So then that gives me what? 15 minus 10, 5? When I subtract? Good so far. And then we go to the next spot. So I can't take, going to the middle, can't take 4 from the 1 that's left. So instead, borrow 1, leave 11. Now how many am I bringing to the middle when I take that yard? Yeah, 1 yard is 3 feet, isn't it? So that 1 yard I just borrowed adds 3. 3 and 1 is 4, minus 4 is 0. And 11 minus 3 is 8. 8 yards, no feet, 5 inches. Yep, there it is. Just like the answer says. Question.